Hi, I'm Professor Mark Goldblatt, and I'd like to welcome you to ES037 Survival Grammar. And you notice I'm not sitting in a classroom, I'm sitting in my apartment in a ratty t-shirt. And I want you to relax and keep in mind that you can view this video as many times as you need to. That's one of the great benefits of online courses. And all we're going to do today is we're going to talk about this course in general, why you're here, what you can expect, what I'm going to expect of you. And if you have any questions, you can always email me and I will email you back and we'll clarify things. But first, let me start by talking about why you're here. I think the easiest way to think about why you're here is to understand that your placement is based on your SAT score. Either that or the placement test given by the school. Now, when you have placement exams, you have cutoff scores. And the cutoff score is just a line, it goes like that. In the past, what happened with the cutoff score at FIT, whether it was a placement exam or an SAT exam, was if you had above the cutoff score, you were placed into English composition, which is EN121. If you placed below the cutoff score, you went into an Ed Skills course, usually ES033/133. The Ed Skills course is a 5-hour, 2-credit course. The English course, EN121, is a 3-hour, 3-credit course. That system was in place for many, many years. But what we found is that there were many people who were placing into the Ed Skills course, ES033/133, who had just barely missed the cutoff. That is, whenever you have a cutoff score, you can either miss it by a mile or you can miss it by a hair. What all of you have in common is that you missed the cutoff score by a hair. You were very close to the cutoff score and going directly into composition, EN121. What we decided to do was, rather than make you take the 5-hour, 2-credit educational skills course, ES033/133, we decided to let you go ahead and take composition, EN121, but to add to your schedule the survival grammar course, which is what you're registered in now. The idea is it's going to add 2 hours to your schedule, but it's not going to set you back for a semester. So in the past, I know many of you feel a little bit resentful, maybe, for your placement in this course. In the past, the thing to keep in mind is you would have been in an Ed Skills course, so you're really coming out a semester ahead. Now, as for the requirements of this course, you have to complete things called learning modules. You will see them as you go into the course. You have to make it all the way through each module. You have to do the exercises in each module. You have to do the tests at the end of each module. I expect you also to participate in the discussion boards, and we can talk more about that via email and via the discussion boards themselves. Now, I want to talk a little bit, and I'm glancing at my notes, I'm really doing this without a script. I want to talk a little bit about the idea of survival grammar. And the title of this course is Survival Grammar. We are going to take an approach in which we go over grammar in a way that, I don't want to lie to you, it's going to seem a little bit like a nightmarish flashback at times to elementary school. But keep in mind that we're heading towards a destination of grammatical fluency. We're not going to repeat the entire sequence of grammar that you were supposed to have mastered through the years. We're just doing the minimum that's necessary to get your papers sharper. One of the misconceptions that people have about English is that there's such a thing as good grammar. There really isn't such a thing as good grammar. There are two types of grammar. There's grammar that you notice, and there's grammar that you don't notice. You never read an essay or an article in a magazine or a newspaper and think to yourself, wow, the grammar was really good in that piece. If you notice grammar, it's a problem. If you don't notice grammar, that's good grammar. The idea behind your placement in this course is we want you to get to the point where your grammar is just not noticed, where your papers are judged solely on their content, on their ideas. That's our goal. And to that end, we're going to go over grammar in a really practical way. I'm going to give you rules. We're going to talk about utilizing the rules. The rules will work the majority of the time, the vast majority of the time, but they are not absolute rules. There are exceptions to the rules. There are exceptions to many rules in life. We're just trying to go over the rules in a very, very practical way. So if you find that the rules that we talk about here have exceptions, I don't want you to worry about it. You know, as a rule, it's a good idea not to date a guy with a swastika carved into his forehead. That's a general rule. Now, it may be the case that there is some great guy out there somewhere with a swastika carved into his forehead, but that's not really the way to bet. The general rule is you don't date guys with swastikas carved into their forehead. Likewise, the grammatical rules we're going to go over will work 99% of the time. You may be able to find exceptions to them, but it's not the way to bet for your writing in general. Again, all of this should underscore the idea that our priority is practicality. That's what we're looking to do here. Now, I want you to spend some time going over the introductory module. Look around. If you have questions, feel free to email me. Feel free to raise those questions on a discussion board. And I look forward to seeing you in a classroom setting. I'll be talking to you out of a classroom from now on in these videos. And I hope that you enjoy the course.